Did you know Easter is completely ripped off from the pagan holiday Ostara?
Only a matter of time before he finds out what Easter's really about.
The libs hate everything good, including Easter, apparently. Probably including Easter especially. So we will delve the depths of the anti-Easter propaganda percolating on TikTok. This video is brought to us by Hallow. Very fitting. Bring out the anti-Easter brigade.
Did you know Easter is completely ripped off from the pagan holiday Ostara? It originally
Put a pause. Here we go. Here we go. You're gonna start me off like this.
Oh, here we go again.
This is what the libs, they always love to say. They say, do you know that every Christian thing that we like is actually pagan? And unfortunately, there are many Christians who have bought into this propaganda, and it's not true. It's not true when it comes to Christmas. It's not true when it comes to Easter. It's not true when it comes to any of the other days. But let's hear her argument.
Originally celebrated the goddess Iostre. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce it correctly. She is the goddess of fertility, spring, and rebirth. The symbol for fertility has always been an egg forever, and her spirit animal is a rabbit. So this is where the Easter egg and the Easter bunny comes from.
That can't be real, right?
Except when Christians adopted the egg as their Easter symbol in the 13th century, they used to paint it red, which symbolizes Jesus' blood. So nobody really knows when Jesus was resurrected, but Christians decided it would be on a pagan holiday. The people they slaughtered for being pagan.
There is no evidence that this was a pagan goddess really at all, with one exception. The 8th century Catholic monk Saint Bede gives some reference to this pagan goddess. But in this sole reference to this pagan goddess, there is absolutely no mention that the symbol of this goddess was a bunny. That's just completely made up. And then she says, well, the reason that Christians celebrate Easter when they celebrate Easter is because they ripped off this holiday, supposed holiday that celebrated this supposed pagan goddess. But that isn't true. One, we don't have really any textual evidence of any festival celebrating this pagan goddess. But two, we know the reason that Christians celebrate Easter at Easter is because it's after the Passover, because the Last Supper was a Passover Seder. And then Christ went through his passion and was crucified and was resurrected. Very simple. It's right there in the book. If this woman had taken even 2 seconds to read the book, she would have not fallen into this misinformation.
You know, we just went through the Easter season and I realized something. I worship a brown-skinned man as God.
Put a pause there. What is your evidence that our Lord has brown skin? I'm not saying he doesn't have brown skin, but this is, modern liberals like to say this, say Jesus was black. He looks like an Arabian or something like that. There's no evidence of that at all. Jesus is a Jew, and I strongly suspect he looks like Jews.
All right, fair enough.
And I actually strongly suspect he looks like the face that we see on the Shroud of Turin. Why are they so obsessed with that? They're so obsessed with that because they have to, it has nothing to do with Christianity. They just have to push this liberal political agenda, according to which white people are evil and non-white people are the only good people.
He was hung on a tree. That's the way the Bible describes it. Nailed to the cross, he was hung on a tree. So he was essentially lynched.
No, he wasn't lynched. This is a really important distinction. Christ was tried and executed by the civil authority. A lynching is a vigilante killing. The passion and crucifixion of our Lord was legal, and he submitted himself to that. And this has important implications for the way Christians ought to view the civil authority and ought to view political life.
By Caucasian people who were in control of the Holy Land at that time.
Put a pause there. Christ was handed over to his execution by Jews. Now, I'm not knocking the Jews here. Our Lord is a Jew as well. But notice what he says. He says,
Jesus is a brown-skinned man, and he was killed by Caucasian people.
No, it's the same people. he was turned over to his death by his own people. They knew him not. This is all attested to in the Gospels. But the story does not support the liberal political project. And so this lib, when he has to choose between liberalism and Christianity, he chooses liberalism, and he chooses to rewrite Christianity to fit his own political narrative.
So I worship a lynched, brown-skinned man who was killed by people with white privilege and I celebrate his resurrection and his effect on my life.
You might worship all of those things, but I would recommend you worship our Lord. That might define your religion, but I would recommend you check out the religion of Christianity, because it's a lot better. In a society rife with anti-religious ideology, like the views that we hear on a daily basis, and we're hearing right now actually, it can be incredibly challenging to ground oneself in what we know to be true and good. Choose today to embrace your faith and start building a habit of prayer. Join me and thousands of others on Hallow, the #1 Christian prayer app in the United States. Hallow is helping all of us to maintain a prayer routine daily. It can help you too. Download the app for free at hallow.com/Knowles, Knowles. You can set prayer reminders and track your progress along the way. Not sure where to start? Check out my favorite podcast, Father Mike Schmitz's Bible in a Year, available on the Hallow app for brief daily readings and reflections, or pray alongside Mark Wahlberg and Jonathan Rumi, who portrays Jesus in The Chosen. With Hallow, you can customize a personal prayer plan that works for you. Listen wherever you are with downloadable offline sessions. Download Hallow at hallow.com/Knowles. Get an exclusive 3 months free. That is 3 months absolutely free at hallow.com/Knowles.
Can we talk about the dark history of Easter?
Let's talk about it.
Sorry to say that Easter has nothing to do with Jesus. Many aspects of traditional Christianity, holidays, practices, doctrines, the bunnies, the eggs, springtime, came not from Christ or the Bible, but came from pagan religion. Easter Sunday is a Babylonian pagan holiday, which idolizes the fertility goddess Ishtar. Worshipping Ishtar
I'm going to pause there. This is what they always do. Because it's all made up, they don't know which pagan idol they should refer to or which pagan feast day they should refer to. So they'll say, Christmas is really the pagan feast day of Saturnalia. Christmas is really the pagan holiday of Sol Invictus. Christmas is really the pagan holiday of Mithras. But the only thing it can never be is Christmas.
Women were required to celebrate the conception by laying down at the temple of Ishtar and having relations with anybody who walks in. There is a very, very dark history on why they color eggs. Babies were sacrificed, and the blood of the infants were dipped in the eggs for Ishtar. No! None of this had to do with Christianity. The bunnies and the eggs are not as simple as they seem, and this holiday is not holy. Y'all be safe.
So it is holy. It marks the resurrection of Christ. Ishtar, who is a better attested to a pagan goddess, does not have a bunny for her representation. And the bunny, it's actually a product of German Lutherans. And it seems relatively harmless to me. It doesn't. I've attended Easter celebrations for my whole life. We've never sacrificed any babies. Modern liberalism sacrifices 800,000 babies a year, and they don't want to acknowledge that. But no, Easter celebrations don't do that.
Easter is not a secular holiday. And apparently there are people out there who try to pushily encourage certain families who do not celebrate that to celebrate it. Various people from various religions don't believe in your religion and in your religious holidays and in your celebrations. I don't fucking celebrate Easter.
We've got a badass over here.
I was baptized Catholic as a baby, mostly because, infants can go to not heaven if they die and they're not baptized. And for some reason, my grandma was like, about that.
My terrible parents didn't want me to perish and burn in hell forever. I hate them. I hate you, Dad.
That's what all liberalism is. It's just, I hate you, Dad. Keep going.
A lot of holidays that we celebrate here that are seemingly secular do not have a basis in secular holiday business. Easter is not a secular holiday.
I keep waiting for this to end because she just keeps repeating the same phrase. It says, Easter is not a secular holiday. Right. It's a holiday that marks the resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ. So you're right, that's not a secular holiday. There's really no such thing as a secular holiday because holiday refers to holy days. Now, Easter is celebrated in America. We have all sorts of federal holidays that are Christian holidays. What the libs want to do is replace all of the real holidays with fake holidays. So they want to get rid of Christmas and Easter and the public celebration of these things. So the question for us is, do you want the good old real holidays that refer to real religion, or do you want the bizarro pseudo-holidays like Transvisibility Day of the leftist anti-religion? Happy Easter, everybody.